Charlie, as we know that some opposition political parties are seriously always seriously preparing for the parliamentary and municipal elections. 12 more months before these elections will actually take place. Is that good or bad news? And then we know that 2025 is fast coming. What are the chances of opposition political political parties? We equally know that the GCE marking ended this week, and results are expected in 2 weeks' time. The markers, the examiners are back from Boya, the capital city of the southwest region of Cameroon, where we had over 10,000 examiners marking or taking part in the marking session of the 2024 GCE exam. Well, I think it is clear now. It is clear that, of course, those who are up and those who are down as to what concerns, of course, the political activities, be it for 2024 or for 2025, efforts are being made on a daily basis to make sure that the T's are kept and the I's are dotted as to what concerns organizing and taking part in these elections. As usual, I'm not alone here on this panel. I am with a man of substance and a lady of caliber. They call her, of course, Nyang Sylvia Njang. Madam Jang, we say good evening and welcome to the Republican debate.
Good evening to you, Mr. Tabi. Good evening to my co-panelists. Good evening to all the televiewers out there.
It's a pleasure. You are a teacher. You are just coming back from marking the GCE. How was the marking exercise?
The marking exercise went well. We have finished marking the GCE and now we are just waiting for the results to be proclaimed. Everything went well, hitch-free.
It's true that there is this news coming from the Ministry of Secondary Education that PTA fees have been suspended as what concerns the 2024-2025 school year. Is that good news for parents?
Obviously, anything that concerns the suspension of money that is supposed to be paid is highly welcomed by parents given the economic situation of the country. So I think that that will be a very good relief, but that when the money is reduced from the school, I think other means of having that same money will come in so that the running of the school will go on smoothly.
It's true that accusing fingers are being pointed to school officials, especially principals, when school is reopening by September or August, that there is corruption and bribery going on in school milieu. Do you share that opinion?
There should be proof of any accusation.
Is teacher supporting
so long
other teachers?
as it is not teachers supporting other teachers, Mr. Tabe. People say in Cameroon nowadays, people talk a lot. There are so many informations that are coming left and right. If you are not very careful, you want to pronounce something that will land you to trouble. So I prefer that there is anybody who says something should prove it. If you prove it, then we know how we can deal with it.
Well, to some parents, it is, of course, good news because the PTA fees have been suspended, especially as these fees were in certain areas, they were different. You hear, for example, in GBHS Bonaberi, it is 20,000 francs. In GBHS Yaoundé, it is 50,000 francs. At times, we don't really know what is happening with the PTA fees. So to some parents, it is good news. Well, equally on this platform, we have our man who is coming here for the very, very first time. They call him Ayok James Ebot. He is, of course, from the PCR and party of Cabral Libe. It's a pleasure for us to have him. Mr. Ayok, we say good evening and welcome to the Republican debate.
Good afternoon to the Republic and good afternoon to all Republicans. Good afternoon to all my co-panelists. I'm happy, delighted to be here for my first time And I think I really appreciate what people are doing here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate what people are doing here. I want to seize this opportunity to greet my current mother, Mama Ines Ngoyas, and the husband, Pap, Daddy, Marcel, Kea, who are there watching me presently now in the house, and remind Cameroonians, 40 days, we are less than 40 days for this exercise. To register, let them go and register, get yourself registered with a LECAM. We have less than 40 days left. Let them go and get yourself registered and be prepared, because the opposition, we have all our candidates are ready, and all of them are eligible to the post of the office of the presidency of the republic. Don't listen to some, I know some unscrupulous political demagogues are in the ranks of the CPDM. They are out there trying to pollute the environment, singing songs that are already, Cameroonians are not even ready to listen. So be assured, go and register. Come October 2025, we have all our candidates are all major parties, political parties. All their candidates are ready and they are eligible for the post of the presidency of the republic. So don't bother.
Mr. Ayuk, it was just to say good evening, eh?
Yes, I want to thank you. No, thank you,
to this program. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
I love to communicate with Cameroonians.
Yes, tell us, how's the PCRN party?
We are doing fine. Fine, no problem. Everything is moving smoothly.
The battle between
There's no battle.
And Kampala.
There's no battle. In Cameroon, we are in a republic, a social republic, and there are laws that govern the republic. In our party, we have the laws that govern our party. You people should not listen to what Mr. Atanganji is singing. That is old song. It has nothing to do with internal affairs of any political parties. Don't listen to him.
Okay, thank you.
So stay and be sure all the major opposition parties, they have their candidates eligible for the presidential election.
Equally with us, they call him Bertrand Kengani of the PAP party. Bertrand, we say good evening and welcome to the Republican debate.
Good evening, Tabi. Good evening, co-panelists. Good evening to all televiewers, and good evening to militants and sympathizers of PAP, and good evening to all the political party existing in Cameroon. And this is a call for us to wake up. It's a wake-up call for us all to mobilize strongly, come with one idea, so that we can arrange or better the future of our country, Cameroon.
How is the PAP?
The PAP is good. We are fine. There is no trouble as of now, even though there are challenges, but we are up to the task. We know it's not easy, especially with the upcoming election 2025.
And you can see Secretary General that is no more in your party. Is that one of the challenges?
No, not Lena just resigned. It's not any challenge, because he took it. Any political party, you are free to become a member, and you are free to leave at any time that you choose to. He did not leave because of a problem. Probably he left because of other issue. And you must know that Fabrice Lena has been an industrious young man, apart from even occupying the post of Secretary General from 2019 right up to 2024. That is the 22nd of June when he resigned. You should know that he has other preoccupation, other activities. He's very, very mobile and also very engaging in humanitarian activities. Probably his schedule did not permit him to do the two at once. Politics and humanitarian causes. Maybe that is why he deemed it necessary to resign.
The PAP is working well.
But I told you that we will have a communique with Fabrice Lena together with the PAP. We'll come up with a joint press release, not later than now, so that Cameroonians should be aware why he quit the party. There is no problem.
There is no problem. Fabrice Lena in the PAP. It's nice to know. Welcome, Bertrand Kengani. And of course, we shall have our press review, the press review of the week, a compilation of Patience Shintum before we come back.
It is another Saturday and a moment to share what the papers had for us over the week, faithful viewers of the Republican debate. We begin with publications of Monday, July 8, 2024, starting with the National Daily Cameroon Tribune, where the prolongation of National Assembly members' mandate is main story. It goes ahead to say a bill tabled by President Paul Biya is under scrutiny at the lower chamber of the National Assembly. Still in the same newspaper, health districts get equipped for better vaccine conservation and distribution. It highlights that Public Health Minister handed out 14 vehicles, 227 motorcycles, and 6 new refrigerators to beneficiary health units across the country. Our next newspaper is The Horizon, which headlines that Biya's extension of MP's mandate causes mixed reactions. You can get the views of some political experts on page 2 of this outlet. Eco Outlook, for its part, says parliamentary and council elections are to be postponed. In the same newspaper, hundreds of Cameroon magistrates risk sanctions for misconduct, as can be seen on page 5. Our fourth newspaper for the day is The Guardian Post Daily, which titles on the 2025 presidential elections, saying, Biya, a political dribbler, dribbles again. Details are on page 3. The newspaper takes us to read about Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative as Interim Mines Minister clarifies MPs on Cameroon's suspension. Looking at the media news outlet, Camto's Merci and Cabral's PCRN face technical knockout ahead of the 2025 presidential elections. Still in this publication, page 5 brings us malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS as subject. It expatiates that Global Fund bills Cameroon 700 million francs CFA for non-compliance. In the Herald Tribune, Ambazonian self-acclaimed General Jibo tells drivers that yellow taxi color is non-negotiable in Bamenda. More of this story can be found on page 9. On to another story still on this cover. Minister Fu Callistus lays groundwork for inauguration of Simpor cement plant in Krebe. Okay, we now move to the next newspaper, which is Ekoji Parlement, and it headlines on budget orientation debate, saying MPs have made a compelling call for the needs of their people to feature in the 2025 state budget. On to Le Quotidien, Paul Biya is presented as the natural candidate for the Young and Fomo division of the Central region. The Voice newspaper says as Atanganji and Parliament consolidate regime's power, electoral reforms spark outcry ahead of 2025 polls. Still on this cover, West Region Governor raises alarm on kidnapping and accidents at Governor's confab. Let's now talk something else. Afrique Environment presents the situation of Cameroon's chimpanzees, which are endangered and constantly in conflict with the human population. It is time to look at Tuesday, July 9 publications, starting with Municipal Update, which headlines on the extension of MPs and municipal councillors' mandate. It says, Prime Minister and ministers affirm the move and align with government action. Till on Tuesday, the Guardian Post headlines on fuel tanker which explodes in Yaoundé, raising several houses. In politics, the Guardian Post says PCRN leadership is in tussle as Paul Robert Connor faction suffers setback in court. In the same outlet, Finance Minister says 2025 state budget will witness slight increase. Our next newspaper for the day is Echo du Parlement, which says Senate adopts 3 other projects, as can be seen on pages 4 and 5. Cameroon Tribune Daily hints that the prolongation of mandate also concerns municipal councillors. More about this is on page 3. In economy, Cameroon Tribune says the state, via Irad, has acquired improved right seat and adopted new distribution chain. On Wednesday, July 10, The Guardian Post opens with a commentary on the 2025 presidentials questioning why BR regime threat Kamto. The Sun newspaper, for its part, captions on 2025 elections highlighting there will be no parliamentary and municipal elections in 2025. Municipal Update comes back to the topic, writing, extension of MP's mandate, opposition fails to resign despite resistance. On Thursday, Boya witnesses a new dawn at Nasla as municipal police training kicks off, says The Guardian Post. Looking at Quotidien Eco News, small and medium-sized enterprises in Cameroon face an increase in number, as can be seen on page 4. The Horizon newspaper says CDC banana exports surged by 37% in May 2024. Details on this can be found on page 6 of this news outlet. Still in the same publication, Minister George Elanga Obam launches first batch of basic training in municipal policing in Boya. And in Akwaya, traditional rulers say they are suffering because of Anglophone crisis. It is now time to look at Friday, July 12 publications, starting with an interview by The Guardian Post to the Treasury DG, who speaks out and says that Cameroon's resilience, attractiveness, and other positive factors are worth commending amidst global shocks. Le Jour News Daily takes us to the higher education family, where it presents Cameroonian universities to be in a new era. It buttresses that the Minister of State, Professor Jacques Famindongo, groups heads of higher institutes to put heads together to see on how to ameliorate the sector. We end this press review with The Voice newspaper, which says SDF pledges free ID cards for all if the party stands out victorious in the 2025 presidentials. Thank you, Tabby Clarkson. Thank you, televiewers, for your kind attention. We keep a rendezvous for next week. Have a blessed weekend.
We keep the rendezvous. We say thank you to you, Patience Shintum. It's a pleasure. Hope to see you, to have you again next week in yet another edition of the Republican debate. He has just joined us. He is Professor Edmond Bilowa, the Vice Rector of the University of Yaoundé Toussoua. He is a fervent militant of the CPD. Yaoundé one. Yaoundé one, rather.
I used to be in
Yaoundé 2. Now you're in Yaoundé 1.
I am now in Yaoundé 1.
Okay, you are now in Yaoundé 1. You are welcome. We say
thank you.
Good evening to you.
Thank you.
How is the CPDM?
Well, the CPDM is doing fine. We are preparing for the 2025 elections.
You are preparing for the 2025 elections, and we know that there is much noise here following the prolongation of the mandate of MPs and equally municipal councillors. We shall be discussing that in the course of our program, but I would like us to have this report of Patience Shintum again at the level of the National Assembly before we come back with the debate.
President Paul Biya's bill seeking Parliament's approval to extend the mandate of members of the National Assembly is under scrutiny. If eventually adopted, the President will by decree extend the mandate of municipal councillors by same period in accordance with Section 170, subsection 2 of the Electoral Code. However, there have been some positive regard to this proposal, as some members of Parliament see it as a means to curb financial constraints.
If you are given power, use the power that you have been given. The President of the Republic is using his constitutional powers to extend the mandate of the MPs. And he's not doing it because he likes it. He is doing it because we are having budgetary constraints, and everybody can see everywhere that the money is not there. And so by doing this, it will give them the free hand to better organize elections.
The elections have to be credible. If you don't have the financial means and you carry 4 elections at the same time, there's going to be a lot of movements of people, a lot of this, and Sometimes also you have litigations, those who don't agree with some elections, in the course of taking the matters to court, prolonging and so on. Then you sit again, the president again, you announce another election. You see, a lot of things may happen.
To maintain peace and stability in the country, the extension is warranted by the electoral calendar, which provides for 4 elections in 2025.
By constitution, he is a guarantor of the peace of this country. So he must make sure that he does everything possible that he does not jeopardize the peace of this country because of elections. He will prefer to postpone some and give possibility for the first elections to be held conveniently, which are, of course, his own elections, to be held conveniently. Also to give him the legitimacy and the tranquility and the strength and everything to organize the other elections.
However, not every party will benefit from this, as those who are not represented in the National Assembly are automatically off.
For the parties which are not represented at the National Assembly, the only advice I can give them is that next time when they have an opportunity to see that they are represented in the National Assembly, they should do that and do it very well.
If adopted, mandate of members of the National Assembly, which expires on March 10, 2025, will be extended by 12 months.
Well, thanks very much, Patience Shintum. Can we have our first topic on the screen? We are talking, of course, the mandate of MPs and municipal councillors and extension that actually divides. Mr. Ayok, tell us, you have heard this news of the extension of the mandates of MPs and municipal councillors. What is your take on that?
Mr. Tabi, we are not surprised. This is not the first time. I think this one is the 3rd time. And we are all in Cameroon. In Cameroon, exceptions are now norms. It's just fear. It's just fear. It's just fear. You know, CPDM, they don't have any electorate. Let me say, their electorate, their base are very weak. They don't have a very strong base when it comes to electorate. They don't have. They have but civil servants and elites, those unscrupulous elites that they will tell you that they follow the party discipline. They will sell Cameroon because they want to follow their party, the CPDM party discipline. CPDM, they know if they don't, if the municipal and legislative election is held before the presidential election, the president, those parliamentarians and the council member will not vote the president. They will not vote because nothing. They will have nothing to hold them.
You are not surprised?
No. Nothing. We are not surprised. This is a 3rd time now. We are here in Cameroon. How can I be surprised? We have been living that, so we know that. We knew that at this time. Yeah, that's the same way they function. So there's nothing new in it.
Was this news welcome at the level of your party?
Normal. It's something very normal. We want just to assure them that even the presidential election, we have to start with the presidential. We were already prepared that whether the presidential election comes first or last, the first person we have to replace is the president.
But there have been reasons for the extension of this. Some
there's nothing like that. No, forget. The other last two elections, that was postponed. Was it because of financial constraint? This is because of financial. They say, okay, they have shifted the election. Do it from October to March. How many months? So they will gather for how long will they gather that the necessary funds for that for 4 months? If they cannot do it for 5 years, for 4 months, are you sure they will be able to do it? To gather the necessary funds to carry out the elections? We are not to do. Look, I'm very sorry because Cameroonians, some of those scrupulous demagogues, they think that Cameroon will remain the same. They don't know that Cameroonians are growing. They are growing matured, morally, politically, spiritually. They are growing matured to understand. They have that political discernment to discern in every action, in every word that comes out from the mouth or from any of our elites. We know the game they are playing. We know they are game. They are used to manipulation. You have to control the collective consciousness.
That is describing a president as a political dribbler. Do you?
Look, those are, we don't even know about what political dribbler. Are we in a football field? we are not in football, we are in politics. We are not in a football field.
The newspaper talks of political dribbler.
No. He's not a politician. He's not an actor, so he doesn't know anything about politics. Let him go and dribble when he's following, when he's at their stadium watching football. Let him talk about dribble there, not here.
Okay.
Political field. So, Mr. It's nothing. There's nothing new in it.
There is nothing new.
Yes, new. The one I want to assure Cameroonians that come October 20, the first person will replace the president of the republic, and the rest, let them remain assured. Let them get yourself, go and register. This is the time. We have to replace, bring people that can reform and transform our society. This is the time.
Okay, thank you, Madam Njang. Certainly, you followed equally this information. What is your take about it?
Okay, Mr. Tavi Clarkson, I have just heard my co-panelists talking about the extension of the mandates of municipal councillors and the MPs. Now, when the President of the Republic takes a decision, it is not like a decision that is taken single-handedly, but several other things have been put in place before the conclusion comes in that this mandate should be extended, and they have given reasons for it. Now, I think that as a reasonable citizen of the country of Cameroon, anything that when the mandate was proclaimed extended, the only thing that Cameroonians needed to have done was to look for the reasons for it. Are the reasons valid enough for such a decision to be taken? Now, if we consider the fact that 2025 we have 4 elections that are supposed to take place in Cameroon, and we see the reasons put in place, we will all agree with the president that it was worth postponing the elections. Now, the only thing that I didn't see among the reasons was that the country is in crisis. That would have also been because when I read, I saw the proclamation of the extension, and then I went to see the constitution, the backing of that proclamation. Then I also discovered that these elections could be postponed when the country is also in serious crisis, and maybe that is one of the reasons that the election that would have been given for the postponement of the elections. Because if you want to organize an election that a cross-section of the population are in crisis, who are those who will be voting, you see, and then mentioning that too as one of the reasons would have been a limelight for Cameroonians to think that there is probably something going on in order to resolve the crisis that we are actually facing. Now, when we talk of divided, it is a proclamation that divides. You see, normally when a decision is taken, there are some people who will be for and there are some people who will be against. But the best thing that I know is that people should actually come, no matter your political differences. You see, it is not everything that comes from the president that we say it is bad because we don't have the same political views. We should also seek our consciences and see into it that actually these things, given the present day Cameroon, it is impossible for us to have 4 elections the same day.
So what is your personal opinion on it?
Those people,
you are saying it's a good decision?
Who do not want, maybe they are the aspirants. You see, those who thought there are some people who are praying every day that this day comes very fast because they're aspiring to go into the parliament. They want to become parliamentarians and councillors.
You have one beside you.
Yes, that is of course one of the reasons. And those who are already there, they see it as an advantage also for them to remain in power, given that in Cameroon, many people, when you are in power, you don't want to go out of
somebody
power.
Wants to know, what is your take, your personal opinion? Is it a good or a bad decision, according to you? In few words.
Decisions are good or bad depending on how they are made.
Yeah.
For me, I think that with the reasons given, it is okay that the elections be postponed. We
have Professor Edmond Bilowa. Prof, what is your take about this issue of the mandate of MPs and municipal councillors extended? What is your take on that?
Well, it would have been difficult to organize 3 or 4 elections in a short span of time. Okay, so I understand what the MPs were saying, that it will have cost a lot of money. The Constitution says that an election can be postponed, especially the parliamentarian and the municipal council's election can be postponed if the country is in crisis, or if there are any special reasons. Okay, the special reasons it's a reason that can be given by the president, because he is the president of the republic. He can say, okay, for special reasons, I don't feel that the country is ripe for the organization of these elections.
Yes.
Okay. And then, as Sylvia said, most people will not think that we are in crisis, but we are in crisis. Do you know that because of the crisis in the northwest and in the southwest, okay, because of the crisis in the upper north region of Cameroon, and because of troubles at the border with the Central African Republic, Cameroon is spending more than 2 billion a month. 10 billions a month. 10 billions a month. Okay, that is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. 10 billions a month that we are spending because of all these troubles. The major one being the trouble in the northwest and in the southwest.
But in 2018, when there was presidential election, we still had this crisis.
Yes.
In the northwest and southwest.
There was a presidential election, but the municipal and legislative election was also postponed.
Yeah.
Just like it was postponed in 2013. Okay. I think that it is always better to organize one election at a time. It's better to organize. If you have a major election like a presidential election, it's better to organize it one election at a time. And then the other elections that are smaller compared to the presidential elections, they can be organized some other time. That's what I believe. So I think it was a very good thing for the government to table a bill at the National Assembly asking for the postponement of the legislative and the municipal elections.
Is it not a political maneuver again on the part of the CPDM, your political party?
Why? What does the CPDM party stand to gain by postponing the legislative and municipal elections? Why? Even if the legislative and municipal election was organized before the presidential elections, how many parliamentarians can affect the outcome of the elections? Very few.
Well, Bertrand Kengani, the man who wants to be a parliamentarian from the BLM, we know that this news is not good news for you. But tell us, can we say it's a political maneuver?
Yes, Tabi, is a political maneuver because you know the CPDM, right from the creation right up to today, they've always been dribbling, avoiding the real situation on grounds and using cosmetic solutions. It's true that it's the power of the president is constitutional for him to postpone election, but in this situation is undemocratic. For instance, the mandates of the MP, they are all now presently, they are illegal. It has ended, and normally they were not supposed to be there. by extending, the president is simply frustrating some of us, for instance, the young people that are aspiring to become MPs and future councillors. And to me, it's not a good strategy, because if, according to the constitution, the president can suspend or postpone election when the country is under serious crisis, and we were expecting him to do this in 2018, and if he has to postpone election, why should he start only by postponing that of MPs and councillors? Can he not also go for presidential candidate? That is a question that he should tell us. So the reason they are giving because of financial constraint, to me, is very weak and does not call for. It is a way of refusing Cameroonians their right. Yeah, because the Northwest and Southwest, we have always, the PAP, for instance, have always insisted that the president should look for a means to stop the crisis before any election can be conducted. Reason why we boycotted the election in 2018, but he went ahead. Even we saw some CPDM militants who went to the Northwest and Southwest in serious. They were inside armor cars and they were shooting guns and all over, but they were going to vote. Today they come and tell us that because of financial constraint. It's not financial constraint. It's a way of avoiding real opposition political parties. It's a way of preventing the young people from being active in politics. And we think Cameroon democracy is at stake, and the regime in place has given all it can. They cannot do any other thing.
How is the PAP receiving this news?
We received the news with a lot of mixed feelings. We are very, very sad and disgruntled, because by doing this, we are still prepared, even though we are prepared for any election, be it 2025, 2026, or whensoever they decide. But what we want the president to do is to stick according to the constitution, to permit us. He himself in his speech called on Cameroonians, anybody who is capable of coming up so that the country can move forward, to come so that we can do politics and build a nation. Now when we come in, and many young people are coming in, they are the same one putting obstacles for us not to be able to exercise our rights freely. It simply tells us that even the CPDM, they are afraid of the opposition party. They know better why they are dribbling. It's not that they should give a better reason than that.
Political maneuvers, Mr. Yoke, you of the PCRN, it's true that some people are saying that you have internal squabbles within your party, something that you disagree, is that?
Mr. Clarkson, I will still tell you, I want to remind you and Cameroonians, Honorable Cabral Libby is the national president of CPNR, and he is the presidential candidate for 2025 presidential election. Stay put, go and register. So don't bother, don't listen to call it I don't know as I can call it. I want to tell fellow Cameroonians, this is time for justice. We are in a republic. This time for justice. Let's stand for justice. Let's turn our backs to injustice. All the problems we're having from extreme north to the northwest and the southwest is just because of injustice. You know, where there is injustice, there is war. The people who claim today that they can stop or they cannot. They cannot, because they are the people, the instigator. They are the ones who brought in this injustice. They are the ones. So there is no way we can come out from this crisis without each and every one of us being honest and being just. There's no way.
A while ago, Mr. Yo, you said that you were not surprised with the decision of the extension of the mandates of MPs and municipal councillors. So you are also disappointed, same like the PAP?
I told you from the beginning, we are prepared for any election. We are prepared for any election. We knew that he will extend. We knew it. So we are preparing for the presidential election. We have to vote for the presidential election. After the presidential election, we'll get now to the municipal and the legislative election. And I want to remind you, it's easy. We can organize all those 3 elections because those are direct elections. We can organize all the 3 at once. There's no problem. We just need to have more men and women of moral integrity who are honest to themselves and who are transparent. Everything we can organize and come out victorious. There's no problem in that. There's no problem. There's no monetary. No.
There's
nothing. If some individuals can embezzle 3 billion, they can embezzle 5 billion, 20 billion. So you think that there's poverty in Cameroon? It's just an artificial poverty. Cameroon is a very rich country. It's been managed by very corrupt, very unfaithful and ungrateful Cameroonians. Cameroon is a very rich country. How can you imagine that is just one institution they embezzle 3 billion? One. And you imagine that one person will embezzle 1 billion. 1 billion is 1,000 million. 1 billion. One person. Is it normal? Don't say that we can. It's good. We create at every level. This is a psychiatric hospital. And we train more psychiatrists in Cameroon so that most of the people they are sick. They need a psychiatric attention. They are sick. They are not normal. How can a normal human being embezzle 1 billion? 1 billion. You think that is normal? You think it is normal?
Prof. Edmond Bilowa, he is saying that it's possible to organize 3 elections, even for elections per year, that there is no financial difficulty in Cameroon, that Cameroon is a rich country. You have the CPDM. What do you say?
How does he know that Cameroon has money? It doesn't run anything, right? The people who run the country tells you that we are in financial difficulty, but he is outside. He doesn't know what is going on, right? I just gave you just one example about the crisis in the northwest and in the southwest, and other small crashes in the upper north region and at the border between Cameroon and the Central African Republic. And I told you that all these crashes cost Cameroon 10 billion a month.
A crisis that could have been avoided. A crisis created by the lack of will of the CPDM to solve political crisis peacefully. They chose a wrong option by sending young children to die, creating confusion among themselves. We've called several times on a sincere dialogue. What do they do? So they are now crying the same war they are sponsoring. When we tell them come back to negotiation table, let's discuss, they think the solution is let's fight, let's use the military. It's costly, and if you continue that way, we'll continue to postpone even eating of food in our own houses.
Bertrand, allow Prof to land, please.
Okay, all right. He knows that President Paul Biya has called the fighters in the bushes to lay down their guns and come to the negotiation table several times, and they are consistently refused. Each time the president has said that, they have come up with new problems. But you see, every country in the world has problems. Just because the country is facing problems doesn't mean that you should take weapons and arms against the republic. Okay, but now that the crisis is there, all right, it is difficult to manage the crisis on a daily basis. It is difficult to organize so many elections at the same time. We are not talking about the regional elections, but that one is coming up too very soon, although that one is an indirect election. Okay, so all these elections cost a lot of money. So it is always, I think it's better to organize one election at a time.
But when he says that one person embezzles maybe 3 billion francs CFA.
Yeah, but you see, many people who have embezzled money, they are in prisons. You know.
Ask him where is this money coming from?
They are in prisons.
Prof, this money these people have, where is this money coming from?
They have been sent to jail.
Is that a solution?
Is that a
embezzlers?
solution?
But now,
Where is the money?
You are taking.
You allow people to embezzle money, then you come and complain that there's no money to organize a society. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
James,
we are not children. We are no more children.
You are raising.
You cannot allow people to embezzle money, then you come and tell people that there's no money to organize a whole society.
You are raising.
What's the meaning of that?
You are raising so many problems.
Yes, we have to raise them because we need solution.
Now,
we need solution. That's why we are raising all these problems and all these questions, because we need
I've already told you that those who embezzled are sent to jails. They are punished. The other problems that he raised is his party's problem. Yeah?
Cameroon party is the well-being of Cameroonians.
National reconciliation.
Prof, the problem of my party is the well-being of Cameroonians.
Please.
That's the problem of my party.
I don't know.
The well-being of Cameroonians.
Please.
I don't know how.
Let me tell you about
Mr. Ebot, please.
the problem of my party.
Mr. Ebot, please. Mr. Ebot, please.
We are not talking as individuals. We are talking of the well-being of Cameroonians.
That Mr.
James, we cannot talk all at the same time.
Is it the way you are going to run Cameroon if one day you happen to get to the presidency?
Yes.
In a republic,
yes.
When you are speaking, people listen to you. When other people are speaking, you listen to them. Okay?
We have been listening to you. Look at your age. You think that I'm born today? We have been listening to you people. You come and sing.
That is a civilized dialogue.
Please. So you thank you, Prof.
Please.
Okay, that what you are
That's
doing
how
now.
You use your psychology.
Please, Mr. Ebot.
To make sleep people.
Mr. Ebot, please.
Thank you, Prof. Okay.
Your party's problem.
Yes.
Is not a problem.
Say my problem.
That was caused by the CPDM or by the state of Cameroon, right? If you have a problem inside your party, I don't know how the CPDM party can be held responsible for your own problems. I don't know how the state of Cameroon can be held responsible for your problems.
Not the state, CPDM.
It is due.
We have no problem with our state.
It is due to the way you run your party.
We have no problem
you
with
run your
state
party.
In Cameroon. We have problem with some individuals.
Please.
Parties.
Please, let him land.
Not all CPDM.
Let him land, please.
These individuals don't run your party. You run your own party. You are incapable of running your party, and all of a sudden, problems that you face are due to people who are outside your party. You have to solve your own problems inside your party. Okay? The CPDM party is not going to come and run your party. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Prof. We shall come back to you. Yes, Sylvia, we are talking political maneuver. Do you share that opinion of Ayok and of course of Bertrand Kendani on the part of the CPDM?
Mr. Tabi, I started by saying that it is not because you are of the opposition party that any decision taken by the president of Cameroon is bad. What I really want Cameroonians, or what I would have wanted Cameroonians to do or to behave, the way they should think, is that if something is put on the table, like I said, we should first of all go and look for the reasons. A normal Cameroonian on a daily basis will know that this country is facing crisis. Financial crisis, economic crisis, everywhere in Cameroon. For one, sitting in my house, seeing how things are going on in this country, I would have doubted if these 4 elections would have taken place in one year. And my co-panelists here said that they already knew in their party that some of the elections will be postponed. And if he is honest to himself, Mr. Tabe, he will say that it is because of the way things are going on in this country that they actually doubted. If you ask many people,
Madam, you have no authority to judge my moral. When you talk to me, talk without you trying to judge anything that concerns moral integrity.
Please,
no,
Mr. James.
2015.
Mr. James.
Was it the crisis since 2015 until now?
Mr. James, we cannot talk all at the same time, please.
No, let
Madam,
her talk and
Madam.
don't try. Look at me. Don't try to judge my moral integrity. I know what I'm saying. We have been living. We have human resources crisis in Cameroon. That's where the problem is, not economic crisis. If you don't know, I'm talking as a political actor. We have human crisis in Cameroon, not political. Not
please allow Madam to learn, please, Madam.
Okay, Mr. Tabi, it is true. You see, when we talk on national television, when we come to talk, we come to express our points of view.
Yes.
We come to talk in a way that Cameroonians, those who are looking at us, they will have something to take home.
Yeah.
They will have something to write on.
Yes.
And in this kind of debate, I think it is a professional, what do I say it, an intellectual debate where emotions are put out, you see, and then we talk with reasoning.
Yeah.
Yes. So if I am advancing a point, you see, I'm advancing a point out of reasoning. It is not by emotions. We don't come on national television to send forth our emotions, but we talk rationally. And one of the reasons, Mr. Tabi, that I decided to come to, I'm not of any political party. I'm not defending any political party here. You see, and I am talking. No, that is why I said this the last time that I came here. That whenever I said it the last time that I came here, that whenever anybody is talking something positive about this country, what the opposition say is that you are CPDM. You see, are there not things in this country that we can actually valorize, that we can see that it is worth it in this country? Now I am talking about the decision taken by the President of the Republic of Cameroon. If you ask all the opposition parties, or some of them who are talking and then they are shouting, is that because they just want to like bring down everything that comes from the President of the Republic because he is chairman of the CPDM party. You see, these very decisions could have been taken by some other person if he were there, but nothing would have happened. Now, I don't really want some kind of disjointed argument. I am bringing forth my own point of view that any normal, reasonable Cameroonian, what might have been the cause? You see, you are talking of, we can talk of economic crisis, and you say there have been embezzlements. Okay, we can talk of war. You can say that it is war that would have been avoided. Okay, but these things have happened. Do we go ahead to organize 4 elections where we have crisis and where we have economic crisis, where we have financial constraints? Do we go ahead? What if you are a leader? What do you do in the midst of all these things? The only thing you can do is you will want to postpone some of these elections, because of course the constitution gives you the authority, the power to do so. You will want to postpone some of these elections and see how you try to fix things before getting into the other elections. That is what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm not here to, it is not, we should at least, when you want to look something objectively, let us move out of our comfort zones. We try to see things in an objective manner, and then we talk for the betterment of Cameroon.
We talk for the betterment
tomorrow,
of Cameroon.
if no matter who is in power, what we Cameroonians want is a better Cameroon for all of us.
You say you are not CPDM. I hope Mr. Ebot, she says
no, I'm not more interested in she's CPDM. I told her CPDM, their electorate are public.
Do you actually think that if I was CPDM, I would have actually hide it? Do people hide where they belong? I cannot be afraid of you to say that I am CPDM or not. I have the authority, Mr. Tabe, to say that I am CPDM or not.
Please, please, madam.
So when you come to a national television like this, you are talking to people. Say something that even a child of 18, 19 years can listen to you.
Madam,
you see, At one point in time, no, Mr. Tabe, you see, this is one of the things that we are going to talk about when we come to chances of political parties. Because what the opposition parties know is to insult. They know the destruction.
There's nothing like opposition party in political science.
Please.
There's nothing like opposition
party. Let's take the viewpoint of Bertrand Kengani.
There's nothing like that.
Your last word on this issue, political maneuver. It's true that Ayok was talking of embezzlement of some public funds, that the financial reasons given behind the extension of the mandate of the MPs and municipal councillors, that is not a genuine one. You are disappointed that you will not go in for elections in 2025, but 2026 too is not too late. Bertrand Kengani.
Yes, Tabi, I agree with Mr. Ayok. I agree with him in many senses. Cameroon is a blessed and a very rich country. And if today we are talking of financial crisis, it means something went wrong. It means the country is poorly managed. And most embezzlers are CPDM militants, or most embezzlers are people who work for the government appointed at times by the head of state. We have people that have embezzled 3 billion, some 70 billion, and so on. Just a single citizen. And the only solution Prof can tell us here is that they are being sent to jail. What about the funds? Is it recovered? Is that a proper solution? If this money was recovered from some of these embezzlers, probably we'll have used the money to run our election without postponing them. Most of those MPs, some of them know what they are doing. They are happy. That is why some of them go ahead to tell us that opposition party members or MPs should resign. That despite the condemnation, nobody has resigned as opposition. And I want to believe that this is not a way of building the republic. We should be honest to ourselves. What went wrong? Why is Cameroon in economic crisis? If we can identify the causes of this crisis.
It's not only Cameroon which is in
no, let me talk about my country first.
Yes.
Because I'm here to be Cameroon. It's true that in future we might extend to the world, but first of all solve the problem in our own house. Let's start in our house.
Yeah.
If Cameroon is in economic crisis, it means something went wrong. We have all the resources it takes to organize even 5 to 6 elections. So what they've just done is to maneuver so that potential candidates should be kept aside.
A last word to the militants of the PAP.
Yes,
watching you.
Yes, the last word to
on this topic.
Yes, on this topic is that no matter the date, we should continue the mobilization in the field. We should continue to work. We should register massively. We should vote, and we should also protect our vote.
Prof. Edmond Bilowa, yes, tell us as we conclude on this first topic, what is your advice? The advice that certainly you are giving, maybe to political opposition parties or to the militants of the CPDM. That should be done.
Well, it would be very pretentious of me to give opposition parties advice. But certainly, since the legislative and municipal elections will take place in 2026, that gives us parties, the opportunity to prepare better for these elections. Okay, because we will have time to organize our militants. We have time to gather money. Okay, so now we can focus on the presidential election that will take place next year. Okay, and we can prepare slowly but better for the legislative and municipal elections.
Okay, Mr. Ayok, your last word on this. What is your take-home message on this first topic? The mandate of MPs and the municipal councillors extended. Can we see that the PCRN, as you said earlier, you people prepared for this? So what is the advice you are giving to your militants?
No, they should just go, and those who are still dragging their legs behind, they should just go and have their register. We prepare, we are preparing for the 2025 presidential election. We have to vote for a new president. That's just all. There's nothing else we can do. The decision has been taken. And we respect. We are Republicans. We know how to respect order, public order, and the law of our nation. So we are preparing. We are preparing for the 2025 presidential election. Let them go and register. We are less than 40 days for the end of the registration exercise. So let them just go and register.
Let them go and register the militants, and why not sympathizers of the party of Honorable Cabral Libi, the PCRN. Madam, your last word on this first topic?
Okay, I will want to talk to maybe the political parties, that those who are directly involved in this decision, that especially for the opposition parties, let them go and prepare. They should work hard, prepare their messages, give clear, educative messages to Cameroonians, so that at the end of it, or when Cameroonians want to vote, if you choose a party to vote, you should be able to know that this is what this party stands for, this is what this party represents, this is the ideology, this is the vision of the party, and the people who are put forth to be voted, you should know their objectives. What are they coming in power to do? All these things, I think, will help guide the Cameroonian population to choose their representatives wisely.
We shall move on to our second topic. We shall be discussing the chances of political opposition parties as what concerns the 2025 elections. We shall be back after the jingle. Elections are coming up. The 2025 presidential elections, of course, will take place in the month of October. We know that other elections will follow suit, certainly in 2026. We are talking the 2025 presidential elections. What are the chances of the opposition? We have two opposition political parties here. We have the PAP of Jean Denis Tabe and the PCRN of Cabral Libi. I'll begin with the section of organization. The section of organization in the PAP. Mr. Bechang Kengani, what are the chances of the opposition?
Yeah, the chances of opposition is that we have about 85% chances of emerging victorious in 2025, and reason being that we've worked so hard in Cameroon. For instance, we have been to so many places, because politics is grassroots politics first, before now you come to the higher level, that is the cities and the urban cities or the regional headquarters. So as far as PAP is concerned, we've been to almost all the part of the country, and we still intend to move to other parts to mobilize our militants and to call their attention, sensitize them, like my co-panelist rightly said, that we should move back, talk to our militants, give them hopes, and propose better options than what the regime in place has. Right from 2017, we've been to many parts of the country. We've been to the southwest, the crisis hit southwest area, where we went to sympathize with the victim. We have been to Kwakwa, we have been to Akwayam, we've been to Mundoni, we've been to Muyoka, we've been to Bamenda, Bali, and even in the north. And we are also very active in the field. We've even taken Elekam to areas where even Elekam officials were afraid to go, like Mundoni, like Muyoka. We've also organized football tournament in Munyenge during the crisis hit period, just to bring back people to see how they can be fine. So we hope that 2025, with all the strategies that we are putting in place, and we have solicited for an Anglophone candidate coming to 2025, we want to form a coalition. We want to form a coalition with some political parties, and we are already working on that. And when the right time comes, we'll propose our candidates to Cameroonian. And we know we recently had our convention, which was on the 21st and the 22nd of June. That convention was to reorganize the PAP. You know, one of the parties that was really affected with the adverse of the Anglophone crisis is the PAP, where some of our militants were arrested, some are still in jail, some are on exile.
Do you think the chances of the opposition are 100%, given that the opposition most often you people are divided?
No, we cannot give 100% to opposition because the regime in place, the ruling CPDM party has their own percentage that they will take home, and that is why I cannot just say it's 100%, but we have at least 85 to 90%
so you
chances.
are better organized to win the 2025.
Yes, because the CPDM has no root. They use just the state resources for their interests, like intimidation. They use the police. They will come out and threaten, but they are better informed and they know better why they keep on postponing or extending the mandate of MPs, because they know what awaits them in the field. They are better positioned to know who are the real opposition leaders, who are those they are really afraid of.
Are you opposition political parties better organized to win the 2025 presidential election?
Mr. Klassen, before I start, that word opposition, whenever you say opposition party, I don't feel it is. Let me tell you, we are Cameroonians in their great majority. Let me say 85% of Cameroonians are for change. They want to see Cameroon change. They want changes in Cameroon, in our institutions, within those who govern us, even in the ranks of the CPDM. It's just a matter of those who want change, who are for change, and those who are for statu quo. That's where the problem is. So I can assure you, 2025 is that set time for that change, for Cameroonians to really lead that change. It's not a matter of political party. No, all Cameroonians, majority Cameroonians want to see Cameroon change for the betterment of all Cameroonians.
Why are you so optimistic?
Because I'm a Cameroonian and I believe my country, and I know I'm with Cameroonians every day. I interact with them everywhere. I listen to them all the time. I've been listening to them for the past more than 35 years. I'm a researcher, if you don't know. I know Cameroonians, all what they want is change. All what Cameroonians want is change. Even within the ranks of CPDM, I can assure you, there's so many of them. They want to see Cameroon change for the betterment of all. They want to see those unscrupulous demagogues who are among them to be eliminated. They want to see them leave the public scene. They want to see them. So I can assure you, we are ready, and that change, I want to assure Cameroonians that change come 2025, from 2025 to 2026, that change will become real.
The chances.
We'll put the right people at the right place. They will do the right thing at the right time, and for the betterment of all Cameroonians. Let them just go and register. When that day comes, they not only register, let them vote and control their vote. Let them register, vote and control their vote, and defend their vote when the time comes. It's not a matter of political parties.
Sylvia, the chances of the opposition in 2025?
I just want to agree with my co-panelists that Cameroonians need change. All Cameroonians need change. But where does the change come from? Change can come from without or from within. It depends on how you look at it. Nobody, everybody, wherever you are, in whatever situation you are doing, there is possibility for amelioration. within yourself, even the way you are running your family, nobody ever says he or she is satisfied. Everybody wants a change, and change for betterment, not to go back to where you left. So change can come from anywhere. Change can be from without, change can be from within. It is true. Now, when I look at the situation of the country today, and talking about the chances of the political party, I'll tell you, Mr. Tabi, without mentioning words, that from my own point of view, I have the right to think and to reason the way I do.
Yeah,
and from my own point of view, I think that the political parties have very slim chances of winning the election. Very slim, like real, very slim chances of winning the election. Now, if you look at, listen to what my panelist from PAP said. He has mentioned everywhere they have been to, and you have the idea, gave me the impression that the PAP party is out there to represent a people and not the entire nation. When he talks of places he went to, all the places he listed were places from the southwest region of Cameroon. They have not been to Furawa, they have not gone to Tuboro.
We've been to the north.
They have not gone to Tuboro.
We've been to the north. And the places I mentioned, that we have visited are places of crisis, and we went there to sympathize. Even here in Yaoundé, when we have the landslide there at around how do they call it, Bankolo, the PAP representatives were there to sympathize with the people.
Okay.
When we have a kind of communication with the people on daily basis, and we are doing our best to represent PAP. We are not representing the people, we are representing Cameroonians at large. But we feel that it is time for us to start with those that are affected. We sympathize with them, and we move gradually. We have been to the north, even here in the center. In Douala, for instance, we are still there. So PAP is well represented in all parts of the country, because PAP is a national party, okay, and not a regional party.
Yeah, madam.
Now, but I'll bet with you that there are still some people, very many in this country, who don't know the PAP. I knew of the party just when I started coming to this platform. That was when I knew of the PAP. And now, talking about going and visiting people, I'm not attacking, it is not an attack on the PAP party, but I'm talking about all the political parties. What is the message? What message do you have? What is the project of the party? You see, now when people go in, they say they are political parties, they want to represent the nation. What do you stand for? What are the things that you want to bring forth that was not there? You say you need change. What are the things you want to change? Which phase of life, which aspects of life do you promise Cameroonians that this is what you do to change the country? Because for some of them, when they come up, you see them talking about some things that from the very exposition of their ideologies, you know that they have failed. You talk about changing some things that you know that you cannot. You see, when we talk about countries, parties that want to come to power and they have a message to give to the people, what message does the PCRN have? What message does the SDF have? What message? They only roam around and then they end in one particular what they are very strong in. And I will say it again, Mr. Tabi, that is why when we go out there, we listen to people talk. I told you in the very beginning that Cameroonians are not dumb. You listen to people and you start grading them from the words that come out from their mouth. If you think that by criticizing, the only thing you can do is to insult, you see, it is a minus on your own part. If you look at it here, the very first thing that I noted on my notebook when I came about this thing was that the opposition party, they do what we call destructive criticism. Meanwhile, Cameroonians want but a constructive. You don't want positive change and then you go about destroying.
Madam, can you mention one of the things that opposition parties?
You should bring forth ideas,
consider them
in
destructive.
A
what do you
manner,
mean by
in
destructive?
a constructive manner?
What do you mean
don't
by
come and
destructive criticism?
Stand here and
Okay.
you're
Maybe
insulting
you give
people
us-
left
maybe
and
you
right,
give us
and
an
then you say you are
example,
stand, you're advocating.
Maybe you
We
give
are,
us
we are
an
coming, we are
example.
coming to you, Bertrand Kenganyi. The time for us to have the opinion of Prof. We are talking in the presidential election in 2025. There's chances of the opposition. Do you think the opposition can make it in 2025?
Well, it's not for me to to talk about the chances of the opposition. I should rather speak about the chances of my party, the CPDM party.
What are the chances then?
The chances are that we are likely to win because we are the party that is nationally implemented in every division in Cameroon, in every subdivision in Cameroon, in every village in Cameroon. The CPDM party is represented. Okay? So we are a national party, a truly national party. We have party representatives everywhere, in every village, in every subdivision, in every division, in every region. So we stand the chances of winning come the elections of 2025. The other parties, most of them are divisional parties at most. Most of them are regional parties at most. I don't see how they could potentially win when, as a matter of fact, very few people know them, right? If for a party to vote for you, people must know about you.
Even if they are
Okay.
united, even if they form an alliance, the opposition.
Okay, when you look at the political landscape, do you see any alliance forthcoming? Do you see any alliance forthcoming? As a matter of fact, the CPDM party has a strong alliance with many political forces. Many political forces, you know them. So we stand the better chances of winning in 2025.
Bertrand Kenganyi, you wanted to react a while ago when
Yes.
Sylvia was talking about destructive criticisms on the part of the opposition?
Yes, let's be honest and tell Cameroonians the truth. It's shocking to hear a co-panelist call other political parties as those who offer nothing but destructive criticism. And I don't think there is any political party in Cameroon that has publicly made statement or to damage the image of Cameroon, or for instance to cause civil war. We are not, Cameroonians are intellectuals, and we believe in we live in a republic, and we practice
when we talk of destructive criticism,
no, when you talk of
I have not said that any political party
yes,
has
you said
I talked of destructive criticism
yes,
from the words, from
when
the
you say destructive, it means
speeches
don't think
that are coming
madam,
out from the
when
mouth
you talk,
of your
madam, when you talk, when you were talking, I did not interrupt you.
Party. No, because you are misquoting
because
me.
I'm not misquoting you.
You are
I'm barely
misquoting
telling
me.
you
I'm
that
telling you
you
what
said
I said.
You don't even understand
You
what
are
you say.
please, when you talk
Madam, it
of
means you don't even
destructive
understand what you say.
criticism,
You don't
when you
understand
talk
what
of
you say.
descriptive,
When you talk
something
about
and I don't understand what
when
I'm
you talk
saying.
about destructive criticism,
Yes, I'm talking about what is coming out from you people's mouths.
listen, madam.
It means
From you
that's
people's
what it
mouths,
is,
the
Madam,
rest of the no.
please.
I have
That is
not
the
said
same
that
thing we
any
are talking
political
about.
party has
Please.
caused any war in
And
this
I want to
country.
make
You
it
are
clear that
misquoting me.
you are not the one
I
to
have
vote all
said that
the
the things that come out of
Cameroonians
your mouth
better know.
does not
You
merit
precise
Cameroonians to
any
even support you.
Were you precise?
Cameroonians know who to
I
vote.
said it.
Please,
I said it.
Cameroonians know
Just
who
a
to
minute
vote.
now, you said you called some people political demagogues.
Well, it's true now.
That was what you
know
said.
what demagogy
You
is
see,
in politics.
what does it
you
mean?
have no knowledge about politics. You know what demagogy is mean.
Who told
Someone
you?
who has
Who told you that I have not?
on what he's
Is it
doing, that's what
prerogative or
he's
not?
doing.
Did you say
Madam,
it in a positive
to
manner
tell-
or in
please,
a prerogative manner?
please, madam,
Because
we
it's
are
true.
a Republican party.
Let me
The
tell you.
PAP is a Republican party, and we have never done anything against. We have never.
I'm telling that they have sense when it comes to politics.
We have never
They know what I'm
disrespected
saying.
the constitution of
That's what
the country,
political demagogy
and
means.
we criticize what is normally criticism is a call for a change. Now, criticism is creating awareness. If the political parties were not, and most often when we come out and speak, the government listens to us. At times they do certain things not because they want, but because of our opposition to it. We think that we can propose Cameroonian better things than what the regime in place has done for the past 42 years.
What are the things that you are proposing?
Please, madam, this is not a time for campaign. We have a political manifesto that will be made public to Cameroonians.
It's not a time for campaign.
It is not a time for campaign.
Yeah.
So for another debate, we can come up and you ask us to present what we have for Cameroonians. And you claiming that you know the PAP only here when you started coming here is because of your limitation here.
A manifesto of
PAP was not created. PAP was not created today, and any political party is legalized from Minat. And before Minat legalizes a political party, Minat must know the aim and the objective of the party.
Tell Cameroonians
if my child was on my one of my
we have a time to propose, and we have a time
to run the country.
We have a time.
That is how
we have a time to propose.
Please.
Let me land by moving back to Prof. Prof said CPDM is everywhere. It's true, and it's true because the CPDM use state mechanism. When you are a teacher, from the way she talks, it automatically tells you that she is a CPDM militant. It is your right to choose. We are in a democratic republic. You have the right to belong to any association of your choice. Don't hide your identity. When Prof said CPDM militants are everywhere, it's true. And how is it true? It's true because they use state funds to manage their affairs. A duo in a place becomes rally support for the CPDM. You can be a Jew and you belong to another political party, but that is the contrary in Cameroon. And somewhere we are not allowed to visit and to extend our policies to people. Look at what just happened in Samalima of recent. The SDF convoy was stopped from going to the field. And those are some of the limitations that we should not talk about.
You have 2 minutes to conclude. Mr.
Give me 2 minutes to conclude. I want to let me tell. Prof just said something here very, very right.
Yes, that what
I told you from the beginning that CPDM uses public servants as his electorate, and if you look around Cameroon, you see every village they have at least 5 or 6 public. Is it a lie? So they are everywhere.
When you are a teacher in a school, you become an electorate of the CPDM. The headmaster, you become. We are not saying it. There are moments they are forced
to gain them.
There are moments. No, you cannot intimidate people. You cannot intimidate people to join.
I know the PAP.
And you call that.
I know the PAP is a Republican Party. Manager, we are coming to you.
She has to withdraw her statement. Let her withdraw her statement.
No, I cannot. Why
because we are not out for destructive. You cannot come here and tell people that their opinion is destructive. That is being disrespectful, and that is not what Cameroonians wait for.
So immediately you seek any post in Cameroon, or you become a member of CP. That's how it works in Cameroon. So there's nothing new in it. So Prof, you are very right. But the only thing I want to tell that those people, they want change. They themselves, they want change. They want change.
And a positive change.
If you people can change your mentality and your mindset, the way you manage things, it will be for the good of all of us.
You are not talking to Prof, you are talking to Cameroon.
Yes, no, you said something that I'm happy. It makes me, yes.
If the country was better managed, I don't think there will be political parties.
We are
coming up to criticize them.
We are saying here that
yes,
this is time for change. It's not a matter of political parties. It's a problem, a general problem of all Cameroonians.
Thank you.
We want this country to be reformed and be transformed for the good of all
Cameroonians. Thank you, Mr. Yo. Thank you. Madam Jang, your last word as we conclude.
Okay, Mr. Tabi, I just want to say that when I talk of political parties, it is good that we know the mission of these political parties so that those who are going in for them should better go. You see, I sit here that I do not belong to any political party. I don't care. Yes, they have the right to their opinion. Let them say what they want to say. Can I please talk? Can I please talk?
You can talk, you are free.
Yes, I have the right to.
You are free.
Yes. So I am saying that if we are talking about the political parties, I'm talking about people who have a project. They should say their project.
Madam, there's no political party without a project.
Excuse me.
Just know that at the back of your mind.
You cannot have your project and then you keep it with
every political party has a project. And that is the reason why every day, on daily basis, people are joining
Are you so angry that I'm a teacher? Are you so angry with the fact that I'm a teacher?
No insults, please.
Are you so angry with the fact that I'm a teacher?
No
You send me to the teacher training school.
No insults, please.
To insult our my intelligence.
And that is how you want to run the country.
You don't know about community.
And that is how you want to run the country.
There is nothing about this
country. Run the country by insulting.
If we can't
Edmond Bilowa, we are
educate yourself first.
If we can't bad roads,
basic ethics of communication, you don't know. You don't know.
Please.
You are so kind.
We come back, Prof. Edmond Bilowa. We have 1 minute 30 seconds.
No,
we are concluding.
Mr. Tabi,
please, I'm coming back to you.
Yes.
Your last word, Prof. Edmond Bilowa.
About what?
About the presidential election, the chances of the opposition. You said a while ago that you cannot talk about the chances of the opposition, but
the opposition,
the chances of the CPT.
The opposition is not organized. For a coalition to win the presidential election, the coalition must be organized. The coalition must have a lot of human material, financial material, infrastructural material, and then the coalition must have a speech that is appealing to Cameroonians. Okay, how does the coalition wants to go about solving problems that Cameroonians are facing? All right. But right now, I don't see any coalition of political parties being so well organized to the extent that I will think that
they can win.
They can beat a machinery like the CPDM party.
Okay. We say thank you for coming. Just 30 seconds.
Yes,
Madam
I wanted to
30
say,
seconds, please.
Yes, let me say this, that for political parties, go out there, talk to the people, meet the people, talk to them, convince them. Don't sit back and then you'll be like crying babies, or the CPCM is using the machineries, all those things. But let the political parties go out there, talk. If your project is well and accepted by the people will surely vote for you. So that is what I want to say.
Thank you. We say thank you for watching the Republican debate this Saturday again. Take another appointment. Same time next week on the same channel. I say thank you for Mr. Ayok Ebod for coming. This is the first time you are coming for the Republican debate. We say thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Klassen. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for coming. We want to believe.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Bertrand Kengani. Thank you, Madam Jam, for coming. It has been a pleasant debate. Take another appointment, as I said earlier, next week, same time, on the same channel. Till then, may the Almighty God continue to bless the Republic.